My name is Lieutenant Paul Cherniak, Windsor Locks Police Department. I want to report to you that last night at about 12:53 in the morning, the early hours of the morning, WLPD officers responded to 24 Lowndes Drive on the second floor in our town on a report of multiple people shot. Officers arrived and they did a protective sweep of the home looking for perpetrators and victims. What they found, unfortunately, was 3 adults suffering from gunshot wounds and all had no signs of life. All 3 were pronounced dead at the scene by emergency medical personnel. A 4th person was located in the residence after following a blood trail into a different room, and that person was also suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. That person was able to be taken out of there immediately, transported to the hospital, and is undergoing surgery. At this time, that person is critical but stable. Another person was located unharmed. This person is not a suspect at this time, and we believe the assailant is to be amongst the deceased. Although it's preliminary, we also believe that this was a domestic-related murder-suicide. Currently, the scene is sealed, and our detectives are working the case. The court inspectors have been notified, as well as the Connecticut State Police Major Crime Squad. They will help us process the crime scene while our investigators continue to work the case. The medical examiner's office has been given an early notification that they will have to come out once the bodies are ready to be released. We are also doing a death notification for one of the parties, trying to find their family. And there are evidence at the scene that's being collected that helps corroborate what I had just explained. So we have a total of 5 people involved, 3 adult deceased, 1 male, 2 female. 1 adult female survived. This is an additional female. 1 adult female survived and is hospitalized, and 1 adult male is unharmed. That adult male is not a suspect in this case. And that is where we stand at the moment until we get search warrants to go back into the home and begin to collect evidence and process the crime scene.
Any idea what led up to the moments before the shooting occurred?
Right now, everything is very sketchy, probably because of the hour. People just aren't around. There's been reports that they heard an argument before they heard a popping sound, which was gunfire. We don't know what the cause of all that was at the moment. We have to look into that with family members and see if there's some background. We have nothing to report on that address involving these parties. So we don't have a history on them at all. Very bad scene, unfortunately, and this is where we stand at the moment.
Lieutenant,
who called? 5 people there. Are they all residents of that location?
No. 1 was a guest. Don't know if they were just visiting or staying all night.
Who called 911?
Can't say that just yet. It's ongoing.
Can you talk to the relation of everybody who's involved?
Blended family couple, some stepchildren involved as well. They are a couple, best to our knowledge, anyway.
You mentioned children. Were there children in the home at the time?
I shouldn't have said that. That implies that they're very young. No, they were the children of the adults, but they're adult children.
And what does the rest of your day look like? I know you expect to be out there for quite some time. State police are going to be assisting you.
Right. Windsor Locks is a relatively small department. When we get bogged down with crime scenes like this, the state has been gracious in helping us out. Long-standing partnership with them for this type of thing. They will come out once we get the search warrants ready to go back into the home. We're nearly at that point now, and it'll be hours that they'll be there working their craft, collecting evidence, documenting the scene, and so forth. And we'll be continuing to run down leads to make sure everything is the way we actually think it is.
Tell me a little bit about your reaction to hearing of something like this happening in that area. Is it a neighborhood that you typically see officers responding to?
No, murder-suicide is always a shocking development, and everything is magnified in smaller towns where people know each other or know of each other. And in this particular case, it's not our first experience with this type of thing, unfortunately. And it's always shocking, and it's horrific and very graphic. And we're just coming off of a brutal stabbing just a week ago. Young woman was nearly killed up here, so we had our hands full lately. Our staff is definitely being pushed to the brink.
And the family member who was in the home, who is okay, with family now, getting mental health support, or can you tell us anything about the victim who survived?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Correct.
Managed to talk to any neighbors in the area at all in terms of what they may have heard?
There are some neighbors that have been cooperative. We'll be going back for an area canvass again, a neighborhood canvass, knocking on doors, and we'll see what anyone else can tell us to kind of enlighten, as one of you had asked earlier, about their relationships and what they might see over there in the past. But we do have some that have already come forward just through the commotion. They knew something was going on.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that commotion? I know you initially said some sort of argument going on.
Yeah, people overheard yelling and screaming, and were concerned about it. And that's how the whole thing was triggered for a police response.
When you talk to people in the area about that, is that something that normally comes from that home? Yelling, screaming, commotion?
Not that we're aware of yet. Like I said, we don't have a record of going there for anything like this at all. This is stunning for all of us as well, to see 3 people deceased in one apartment like that in Windsor Locks. That doesn't usually happen up here. So we're sorting through it as well.
Anything we didn't ask you about?
No, I think you covered it all. Anything else? Questions? All right. So we're going to be on a standby situation until we get back into the home. And when we get there, everything's inside the home, so you won't be able to see anything.
Right.
And eventually they'll come out and load up all the evidence into the state police van and bring it back over here.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your time.
All right. All righty.